What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Got a model from New Breed EDC to check out with you guys. Let's jump into it. All right, guys, we are taking a look at the Wingspan prototype. This one here currently available for pre-order at $145 according to the website with multiple variants. And then in production, it'll be $150. So you're getting a little discount for helping order up front. The way that the website reads is this is going to be a limited pre-order number. So once the pre-order number is hit, that's it. It's cut off. You'll have to wait for any production versions to come in order to pick this up. So there are going to be two variants. There's going to be the one that you see in front of you here today. It is going to be carbon fiber and titanium with the milling on here with the titanium, and you have an inset liner lock on this one with a titanium pocket clip with carbon fiber inlays, or it'll be shred carbon fiber with anodized aluminum instead of coated, and it'll be an acid wash blade instead of a belt satin finish. Overall length on this is going to be 7.84 inches. Blade length 3.51 inches. Blade steel is going to be S35 yen. Handle length is going to be 4.39 inches, and the weight is going to be 3.2 ounces. This is going to be OE'd by Kubi. You have an opening hole. The prototype here does have a small opening hole. According to the website changes, it is going to be opened up ever so slightly. The jimping here is really nice, small tight jimping that wraps around, so it does give you the option to have that top flipper for deployment. Does work really good. Has a nice solid detent. I did take this down to the garage to do a little bit of cutting with it, but it is the D2 model. Keep that in mind. The production version will be S45 yen, which I think is really exciting. I can't wait to see what S45 yen from Kubi is going to end up being like. Cut well, good geometry, great belly to it, and it ripped through the cardboard, and then in the pinch grip worked really well for those detailed cuts because the tip drops down nice and low, and it's also able to be choked up a little bit here. See, I have space left over, and get out to that tip to be able to do the package opening. I really like the bearing action on here, very smooth close. Kubi always does a fantastic job with that. Good opening. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. All right, let's go ahead and do a couple of size comparisons, and then we'll weigh the knife. All right, so today I wanted to go ahead and bring out my Benchmade Bug Out and my QSP Vault because I felt like these are the most similar knives that I have in my collection, but you can see the wingspan still going to be a little bit more slender, feels very gent-esque to me when I'm looking at it compared to these two. They're a little bit more hand filling, but they do flex to me into those gent rolls. Let's go ahead and move these two out of the way, and we'll grab a couple more and then weigh the knife. All right, guys, I do have a couple more knives on the table. I have my Tarkin from Concept on the bottom, and then my Quiet Carry 9 on the top. Now, I would say the wingspan would probably be more competitive with the catch, being if the catch was this long. The catch is actually a little bit smaller than the 9, coming in around like this size. So the wingspan a little bit longer actually than what is out here on the table today. But these are knives that I have in my inventory that I think could flex into a gents/office carry. So I wanted to use these for comparison. Let me move these out of the way. We'll check the weight on this. Again, the website does have a different weight, and then this is a prototype, so not a final version. All right, we got the scale out and on. Let's check the weight on this one and make sure there's no glare going on with this. So coming in at the exact weight that the website said at 3.2 ounces. Kind of wonder if he's going to remove more material by opening up the opening hole, if that'll do anything to slightly reduce the weight on this or not. I don't really know that it will. I think I also failed to mention, I believe this said titanium backspacer. This one is polished. I wonder if the one with the acid etch blade will be dark washed to match, or if they're going to anodize it to kind of match the anodized titanium. I'd be curious to see what that'll look like in production. Let me go ahead and move the scale out of the way, and we'll wrap it up with final thoughts and impressions. All right, final thoughts and impressions for me on this one. I think the Wingspan is going to be another hit from New Breed EDC. I think it's a very attractive model. It has an extremely useful blade shape, very comfortable ergonomics, nice thickness with slight contouring going on, and you're getting a lot of nice materials. Feedback for me would be if we could potentially remove this middle screw. I'm wondering if or just have, well, I think this one makes more sense, right? Because it's going to pinch it down here closer towards the edge. But this extra screw here in the middle, I'm kind of wondering if you can get rid of that, if the carbon fiber will be rigid enough to be able to have just these two screws and get rid of this one to kind of pinch it down. I think it's a little bit more attractive, a little bit more sleek with that, but I don't know if they worry about any type of potential bowing down the road. The other thing I would probably say is, could you, I don't know that that would work either, because you would want it closer to the tip. That's the only thing I can really think of aesthetically, is would that work? The pocket clip, let me just double check. I have my thicker jeans on today. Yeah, pocket clip works great. So tried it with my thinner pants, my work pants, and it went in and out of the pocket very nicely. I like how you can dip it in here. I don't know if he's going to intend to make this reversible since it is an inset liner, but if you wanted to notch it out and make this completely reversible, I think that would work really well, and I think the notch would be hidden enough here to where you could absolutely get away with that. I do like the tight jimping here. It does look like there may be some dirt in there potentially. I don't know if that's from me or if that's just from going in the pass round, but I personally really like the tight jimping because it does grab it very, very aggressively to make sure that you don't slip off of there. I might need something just a little bit thinner actually to get in there to clean that if it is something that needs to be cleaned. Action, really good on this. Again, multiple means of deployment, I'm always a huge fan of. It, even in the prototype phase, it is locked up solid. I know it is a prototype, but let's just go ahead and check. Ooh. I would be curious about taking it apart and cleaning it, but out on the edge there, it does look like it does want to break the lock up. So in the middle it was fine. Out on the edge where it has a little bit more leverage, it definitely broke the blade free. So I would probably say if he would allow me, I would take it apart and clean it just to make sure that there's no oil, and it does look like there is a little bit of dirt on there. And again, it's a prototype, so the tolerances might be a little bit better. I don't think anybody would hard use this. Yeah, not a lot, a little bit of dirt came off of there. So I am just a little curious to see if there's potentially any oil on the lock bar itself. And I would probably say the lockup could potentially be moved over, but it's already riding at 40%. So a little surprised at that. I would say maybe strengthening the lock bar a little. It definitely would feel okay in the reverse flick. Be a little challenging to tighten that up for that front flipper. I think you would need to bring it up a little bit more to get a little bit more height on it in order for it to work. And it's an internal stop pin, so you could go a little bit higher, but just something that I've noticed on the prototype, it might not be an issue in the production. So for me, if we could potentially just eliminate the middle screw, I'm hoping the pivot and this further out screw would be enough to hold it in place, and maybe notch it here to make it reversible, I think would be the only things that I would really change on this particular model. Now let's check really quick. Okay, so in the pictures it looks like on the shred carbon fiber, I think it's shred, maybe no, it's twill carbon fiber. Looks like it's going to be blacked out hardware. It looks like it's going to have the carbon fiber to match on the pocket clip, and then it's going to be acid wash. I cannot see the backspacer in any of the pictures that he has on the website. Maybe put that out there just to see. Oh, I see it. It looks like it's going to be blacked out backspacer. Okay, so that actually is going to pull the carbon fiber in, and then the black hardware not as noticeable, and it may be why he went with the satin hardware here. Okay, that makes sense. So as I mentioned, it's going to be 145 on the pre-order, guys, and then 150 at production. I'm going to hold off on rating this because I'm going to order me one of these because I do think it would be a nice slim, slender gents knife to have in the collection. I think the Kubi does a fantastic job, so I think the fit and finish are going to be outstanding on this one. And I want to wait until I can take it apart and disassemble it and spend a little bit more time with it than I am on the production version before I really score it. I think it'll be a good score. That's all I can really tell you today. I know normally I score it so you can see how I'm looking at it in perspective with other knives, how I like it. For me personally, I think it's fantastic value for money for sure. But go check out New Breed EDC. This is the Wingspan. If you guys missed out on the Clydesdale, I highly recommend you get in on this one before these sell out and are gone and it's too late. Shout out to Loot 10. Thanks my brother for letting me check this one out. I really do appreciate it. I'll make sure and get this one on to the next reviewer. If you have any questions about this, throw it down in the comment section. I'm sure Loot 10 will definitely answer that for you if I missed that here today. And I would also encourage you to check out his website. A lot of information there about this model, the drop, and the prices. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, hit that like on the way out. If you're going to be doing any shopping, check out my affiliate links. It helps the channel when you use them. Special thank you to my channel members, guys. I'm out of here. Have a great week. Catch you next time. Peace.